What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is David Benjamin from Wellstar Reviews and Healthy Wild Trade. Today I'm reviewing the Bowflex Max Trainer. This is their M7 model, and no, it's not a BMW. It is a Bowflex. Now, the cool thing about this model that I like in the front here, when you are moving your feet on this unit, you'll see that this sort of cramps around in a circle here. And what happens is that as you do that, the fan at the bottom blows air out. So when you hear that fan and the air go louder, it sort of challenges your intensity to take it to the next level. So I'm going to show you kind of when you jump on the unit like this, you have different handle options. So you have handles here at the end, you have handles here in the middle, you have handles up top, and then you have very high handles, and then you have handles in the center, and then you have handles right here. So I'll show another angle for that. But basically, the real benefit of this machine, the real benefit of this device is that you're working your legs and your glutes. So you're kind of in this stepping, running motion where you work your glutes and your hamstrings and your quads. I don't really feel it in my calves that much. I feel it more in my quads and hamstrings and glutes. And then obviously you're gonna work your abs to some degree as well. So let me take you around and show you another angle. Okay, so with the Bowflex M7, when you stand on it, as long as it's plugged in and you start kind of moving like this, you'll see that the screen lights up here. Now when the screen lights up, you have different options. So first things first, I should show you, these handles are all sort of regular handles. These are the ones that measure your pulse and heart rate. But then on the unit itself, you have a program button here. And when you push that button, you'll see it changes to sprint and recover, and it changes time intervals, calorie burning, steady pace, calorie burn up and down, fat burning, and basically these programs right here will show you sort of the intensity. So it gets intense, it goes up, and then it comes down, and then it goes up, down, and then you can kind of see with the stairs, it's sort of a cyclical thing as well. You can do a manual mode. You can really kind of program it how you want. You can do a fitness test and see kind of where you stand. So on the chart here, you have fat burn is the first component or quadrant. And then as you go higher, it goes to endurance up here. And then over here, this is the performance territory. So if I were to start moving on this, you'll see it start to increase. And if I go higher intensity, gets the performance, you can see it hits performance, and the time starts going as well, and you can kind of see your RPMs, if you will. The nice thing about this dial here is I just think of like RPMs. I mean, it really is the rotations. I believe it actually is rotations per minute here. So you get to see, okay, I'm going 10, 20, 30, whatever. You're not going to be in really performance or endurance for too long now. You're going to be mostly in fat burn, which is fine. Right here you can change your burn rate, target, your resistance level higher or lower. You can start and stop your time. You can enter details. You can change the volume here. You can have different users on the device. So if you have up to 4 people using it, they can have their preset settings. Right here you can put a cup, so it's a cup holder, and then the fan is down there. So, what I like about this unit is that it does, and then there's a couple buttons up here, the same as here, so burn and resistance up here as well. So if you're up here, you can actually just do that with your thumbs, which is kind of convenient. I don't find myself using this a lot because, well, to be honest with you, it's quite far away. I like these are okay, and I like these on the outside, a little bit more width personally. But, the screen, it is nice. It definitely gives you a good burn here. I wouldn't recommend going barefoot. You want to get shoes in, and these right here are going to lock your feet in, and they're slightly loose. I would recommend barefoot minimalist shoes. There's a brand called Xero, that's Xero shoes. I'll link them up below. That's what I'd recommend because you want to be mimicking barefoot in order to get not only the best workout, but also for your posture to be in the best position possible. So that when you're building muscle and you're building endurance, your body is actually conditioning in the appropriate manner so that you're building functional strength. You don't want to add form to dysfunction, as my good friend Blake Bowman says. He's a posture correction coach. You don't want to strengthen parts of your body that are already out of balance, because then it creates more imbalance. So having good barefoot minimalist shoes like Zero Shoes is smart. And then, what's really nice about it is the programs. I think the best feature is, like, for example, you can see here, sprint recover different time, calorie burning, steady pace, all these different settings, fat burn, so on and so forth. I personally would not recommend sort of some of the endurance programs. I would recommend a sprint recover, high intensity, low intensity programming. The reason for that is it's better for your cardiovascular health in the long run. You don't want to stress your heart and your lungs, and by doing high intensity and low intensity, you're actually building and increasing your lung and heart capacity. Whereas if you do steady, if you're doing steady, if you're doing steady, a steady pace, you're actually stressing your heart and your lungs, and that's not as beneficial as you'd think. But to be honest with you, I like this unit. I'll share, I guess, the pros and the cons. So the pros are, I like the programming. I like that you can actually do everything right here. It's very quick, easy, digital digital/analog screen, if you will. And it's actually like comfortable in terms of, the flow of it, like getting in the rhythm and moving like this. It does work well. And you really feel it in your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes, and that's nice. I really like that. So it is a really good leg burn. However, I will say I actually had a challenge filming this video, and I'll show you why. This machine, this unit, is pretty big. I mean, if I stretch my foot out here to over here, I'm pretty stretched out. And just for a frame of reference, this right next to it is like a Smith machine. It's like a multifunctional muscle strength building and conditioning machine. And this only goes out a little bit further. And the width of it, I mean, it's almost as wide as this massive machine. I mean, not quite, but it takes up a lot of space, which is kind of a downside. And then when you're kind of cranking and moving on these things, you got to have more space for that as well. So, you got to kind of watch for that. So I would say that's really the big downside, is it takes up a lot of space. But, it does give you a great leg burn, and it does give you, a really good burn, which is really nice. Like I said, wear shoes, set your users up, program yourself as a user to do your consistent routine so you're plugged in. And like I said, wear barefoot minimalist shoes and you're off to the races. That's my recommendation. It is a nice unit. I will say, kind of looking at other options, however, I would say that if you're deciding between this and something else, this is probably not what I would go with in the future. I would go with a vibration plate or a mini trampoline rebounder. The reason for that is because a mini trampoline rebounder, you get more benefits in some ways, like you benefit your lymphatic health. And then a vibration plate, like this is like a little over $1,000. You can get a nice vibration plate for $1,000 to $2,000, and a rebounder for about $1,000 or $900 and I'll link those up with all the brands I recommend. But with a vibration plate, you can, like, this is only working your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes. And with a vibration plate, you can work all of your lower leg muscles, including your hams, glutes, quads, all of that. But then additionally, you can also work your calves, and you can also do push-ups on a vibration plate. You can do a variety of things on a vibration plate and get a lot more time efficiency for your workout, because with this, you're kind of trapped in the leg burning mode, which is great. It's good cardio. However, with a vibration plate, I can do upper body, lower body, and that extra vibration, the extra reverberation from the vibration plate is giving my body more workouts. So it's causing the muscles to fire faster in a shorter period of time. So, if you're deciding between a Bowflex and something else, I would seriously consider and look at a vibration